Hi, my name is Fernando Flores, and I continue this journey about hospital malpractices in front of the Fairmont Hotel in the beautiful city of San Francisco, California. It's nice seeing you in the school. Now, I got another clarification video. All right, you ready? Yeah, check it out. I have a video. It's called Fernando's Hair Grows versus Venezuela. Okay, okay, and I clarify, what that really means. Uh, I seen in the news, I can't say I'm sure because I wasn't there. Okay, that's what the media says. Okay, and I don't trust them. You know, as far as I concerned, there are a bunch of liars. They cover the truth. And they misguide the truth. They misguide people. In their own interests. Okay, so that's what I seen in the news. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay, so apparently, there are uh, people are protesting because Maduro here, Maduro there, Venezuela here, the administration of the president there, Nayib Bukele in El Salvador here, Secot, and all that, like, okay. What happens is the hospital did this surgery, and I'm still recovering from it. And the surgery was done against my will. So, the time of the first surgery, I had an abscess on top of the head. I was in a tent, and police got to the tent, and they asked me if I was okay, and I said, yeah, yeah, I'm okay. Please respect my privacy. Please leave me alone. I'm good. So they didn't care. They opened up the tent and started flashing their flashlight all over, and they saw the top of my head bleeding, and they told me, okay, you gotta get medical attention, or we're not gonna leave. Okay, you gotta get medical attention because you're bleeding, and it's our job, that to make sure that you get to the hospital. So I had no option. So when they tell you, we're not gonna leave, it means, uh, with handcuffs or not handcuffs, you're going. So I decided to go by myself, on my own voluntarily. So I got in an ambulance, and I was took to San Luke's General Hospital, San Luke's Hospital, Palasar uh, Healthcare Network. So I end up with a hole in the head, right where the abscess was. The hole, exposed the skull. You can see the skull. It was terrible. So after that, I was subject to two more surgeries, and the second one, I was under custody. You know, at the hospital. So at the surgery, I was handcuffed when they did the surgery. So Andy Patel, like played me with my money, in front of everybody. They confiscated out of my room my North Face jacket, my Giants hat, my bandana, and my Jordans that I paid $200 with the EDD benefit card because I was on unemployment and I used the EDD money to buy those Jordans. So uh, I got confiscated all sorts of items, all sorts of items, bicycles, skateboards, drugs, paraphernalia, pliers, tools, a lot of items, like confiscated and never got returned. Okay, uh, I got arrested, and I got $40 in my pocket, and when I got released from 850 Brian, the 20s become $1 bill, so they gave me $2 instead of 40. And I went to the station, and I told them, what happened, like they don't know nothing, they don't know, no, they don't know what's going on, so I got my money stolen, by the police, my Jordans, my jacket, yeah, all sorts of items. Now, then, they're playing all these illegal maneuvers, I was on the street, a car run me over, broke my knee, and fractured my toes. You know, like at the San Francisco Memorial. You know, they forced me one night to stay there. You know, and they broke my nose and they fractured my ribs over there at the San Francisco Memorial. On July 4, I was there on July 4, 2022, on the San Francisco Memorial. You know, they broke my nose. You know, and I stayed there one night. You know, without my consent. You know, uh, not not really wanting to stay anywhere. So I bring it up to the public, you know, I bring it up to everybody, you know, like I ask people, I ask the police to return my property, and then like they chased me with a shotgun, you know, they couldn't get a clear shot, you know, I guess they didn't shoot me, but the second time, you know, they got me at the overpass over there by Market, you know, and then they got me shot with rubber bullets, you know, that I got another video, okay, when I got shot, you know, anyway. So people, instead of helping me getting paid the money I work hard for and I deserve, uh, and really do justice, you know, they're organizing, you know, and got a protest, you know, and they care more about what's going on in Venezuela than what's going on here to me. I've been in the street, in a sidewalk, in a tent, with my broken knee and my fractured toes, you know, bleeding, and with this infected in the head, you know, dying, you know, and they didn't care. They did not care. And I asked everybody, like, not once, not twice, you know, a lot of times, you know, it just got all, you know, for years. I've been looking for help for people, but no help, okay? Just a few people that if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be alive. A very, very few, but they did help me save my life, you know, but other than that, you know, nobody helped me, okay? Not in groups, but they got together and they're not only uh, very irresponsibly acting. A lot of these people, you know, they get the benefit of being in America. They get benefit one way or another, you know, because this is a rich country, this is a powerful nation, you know, that help people, you know, and I bet all these people, they get help from the government, one way or another. Okay, so uh, the money the government give to somebody as a help, you know, it's not free. It is not free. There is a lot of responsibilities to citizens, you know, because being a citizen, I mean, living in here, regardless of the legal status, you know, like, be living in here and be a citizen, it comes with the responsibilities and rights, you know, not only rights, you know, and these people are uh, protesting against the government and the administration of Donald Trump, and they let me die in the streets. They did not care about me getting paid with my money that I work hard for. They didn't care about I got my broken nose, fractured rib, a car run me over. I got shot with rubber bullets. You know, I've been arrested so many times illegally. You know, they don't care, but they do care about what President Donald Trump is doing. Now, I take it as an offense. You know, I take it as an offense. You know, because these groups are organizing and they claim to be socialists, and socialism means communist. You know, and I come from El Salvador, where there was a big war about communism. Now, you know, like it wasn't enough. You know, like it wasn't enough. You know, I grew up to be a violent man. I grew up to be traumatized. I grew up to be uh, with all the war sequels. You know, so uh, let me tell you something, okay? If they didn't do what they did in El Salvador and provoke a war over there, you know, my life would be so much different. You know, I wouldn't, I don't, I wouldn't need to come to this country as an immigrant. You know, I would have been a professional over there. You know, like, but they destroy everything. You know, they got almost everybody killed. And now they're standing that over here.